from slavery in Brazil to a lasting legacy in Lagos. This is the story of Popo Aguda, the Brazilian quarters. Behind these old streets and fading walls lies a journey of pain, survival, and triumph. A people taken far from home, who returns to Lagos and builds a community that still stands today. Today, Busa TV takes you inside Popo Aguda to uncover its history, meet its people, and explore the legacy still living here.
Hidden in the heart of Lagos is a community rich in history, culture, and identity. This is Popo Aguda, a home of the Brazilian quarters, where the descendants of the freed Brazilian slave returnees built a lasting legacy. Today, we are going to be uncovering the stories behind the people, the streets, and the structures that are still standing. This is Busa TV. Come with us.
The Brazilian Salvador Mosque, sometimes referred to as the Salvador Mosque, is a historic mosque located on Bangbushe Street in Popo Aguda area of Lagos Island, Nigeria. It was established in 1848 by Salil Salvador Ramos Neves. Some other major landmarks in the community is the Campus Square, the heart of Lagos Popo Aguda. It's a relaxation place where the returnees came, which is still operating till date. There are also streets like Ibosere Road, Kakawa Street, and Oil Mill Street, which was once a street with bungalows in Brazilian style, which belonged to the returnees. But over the years, due to civilization, the bungalows were brought down and story buildings were erected. The Brazilian quarters, known as Popo Aguda on Lagos Island, is a historic neighborhood established in the 1850s by liberated slaves returning from Brazil. Located around campus, Bangbushe and Kakawa Streets. It is renowned for its unique 19th century Portuguese Brazilian architecture and vibrant enduring cultural influence, including the Lagos Fanti carnival. As we toured the Popo Aguda community, I had the privilege of speaking with the president of the Brazilian Descendants Association, Mr. Razak Akomi Dada Abiodun, who shared the rich history and significance of the Fanti carnival.
My name is Razak Akomi Dada Abiodun. I am the current president of the Brazilian Campus Carnival Association, which is also a subset of the Brazilian Descendants Association, which is the umbrella body for the whole community.
He made us understand that the color yellow and green, which is peculiar to the carnival, is linked to the colors on the Brazilian flag, which is blue, green and yellow. But the Agudas chose the green and yellow to represent their uniqueness. He explained that the Fanti Carnival is a centuries-old celebration of the cultural heritage and legacy of the returnees from the transatlantic slave trade between Nigeria and Brazil, dating back to the 18th century. The first carnival held in the Brazilian quarters was in 1885. He made us understand that it was originally celebrated 3 times a year: Easter, Christmas, and New Year. But it's now held twice yearly, during Easter and Christmas.
The celebration and the carnival comes up initially 3 times in a year: during Easter, on Christmas Day, and on the first day of New Year.
1st of December, 1st of January. Okay.
But for one reason or the other, in terms of as you progress, the logistics becomes so difficult, and people also want to have time for their family. So on our own part, we decide that we only do Easter and Christmas. Then on the first becomes a family city.
Speaking of celebration, so the 2026 edition took place on April 6th at Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, featuring colorful parades, costumes, music, and live performances. A vibrant tradition that continues to unite descendants and celebrate history. If you have plans on spending your Christmas holiday in Lagos, I would suggest you add Fanti Carnival to your to-do list, because I am, and trust me, it promises to be fun, unforgettable, and full of life. During our tour of Popo Aguda, we visited the Popo Pavilion, a historic relaxation and gathering spot that once served as a resting place for the Agudas, the Brazilian returnees. Decades later, it still remains active and lively, especially on Sundays, when descendants still come together after church to relax, socialize, drink, and keep their community spirit alive. There, I had the privilege of speaking with Ambassador Graciano Martins, a descendant of the returnees, former president of the Brazilian Descendants Association and currently the ambassador. He shared the story of how enslaved Africans were taken to Brazil, later regained their freedom, returned through Badagry, and settled on Lagos Island, where they built the lasting legacy now known as Popo Aguda. He also introduced us to some indigenous Brazilian food that is not only remembered but still eaten in the community.
We have the fijão.
Fijão.
Which is prepared with a black paint, well cooked with sugar and some other spices to make it more edible. It's only done on Good Friday.
A special meal prepared only on Good Fridays, as the Agudas are Catholics, and farofa, made from gari. He also explained that gari traces part of its history to Brazil, where it is known as farina. Guys, can you actually believe that our almighty gari that has been saving lives since the 80s is originally from Brazil? Wow, I'm just getting to know this. Well, that's why we are here to learn. He also mentioned fruits brought from Brazil to Nigeria, including cacerina, mango, and sejuada, known in Yoruba as inueru. Isn't that fascinating? Many of these foods are now prepared only during festivals and special occasions. I was actually looking forward to having a taste of this indigenous food, but sadly I couldn't, because foods like this are not found randomly on any restaurant or street canteen, only during festive season. Ambassador Graciano also spoke about the strong discipline within the community.
When we mention discipline, it's super here because we don't tolerate indiscipline. Even up to now, I don't think whoever comes to this community and not graduate, you tell him, please, if you know you want to be with us, you graduate or we send you back.
While efforts continue to preserve their culture and heritage, many old Brazilian-style buildings have disappeared due to modernization, making the story of Popo Aguda more important than ever to protect and remember. After an interactive time with Ambassador Graciano Martins, we took a stroll around some major historic buildings in the community. We headed to the Afro-Brazilian Cultural Center. This center preserves the history of Afro-Brazilian returnees. It has paintings on the walls outside which shows how the forefathers were shipped to Brazil and ended up as slaves once they were taken away from Lagos Island to Badagry and then to Brazil. There were more paintings which also shows their return back to Nigeria. They also came through Badagry and were moved to Lagos, where they all settled and where they had their Brazilian quarters, the Popo Aguda, which is the present settlement of the returnees. There's no telling the story of the Brazilian quarters without mentioning Holy Cross Cathedral, a landmark deeply connected to the history of Popo Aguda. During our visit, Mr. David, a member of the church parish, was more than willing to be our tour guide. He guided us through the church's rich past, architecture, sacred spaces, statues, and the line of archbishops from the early years to the present Archbishop of Lagos, Archbishop Alfred Adewale Martins.
So once you get to 70 years, 75, you are bound to retire as an archbishop. So this is the list of archbishops we have.
Alfred Adewale Martins
He is the current archbishop for now.
He explained that Holy Cross Cathedral is the Roman Catholic seat of the Archbishop of Lagos. The name Holy Cross comes from the cross-shaped aerial view of the church building. Before construction began, a large wooden cross was placed on the land, and that historic cross still stands on the altar today. Its story, however, began in 1864 with the Brazilian returnees who settled in Popo Aguda after exile in Brazil.
The cathedral itself Initially, the cathedral, this is the second building. The first building was a pro-cathedral, which has 2 pillars.
Okay.
It has 2 pillars. So while the parishioners are getting bigger and everything, so they now brought it down. They now erected this new one. So when they erected this new one, that's what we have. It's over 100 years old.
Thank you so much for taking us around. Thank you for teaching us, enlightening us. There are so many things I have learned today pertaining the church. So we, on behalf of Busa TV, want to say a very, very big thank you. All right, do have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
Popo Aguda is more than a neighborhood. It is a symbol of resilience, identity, and heritage. Though time has changed many of its old structures, the legacy of the Brazilian returnees still lives on in its people, culture, and stories. Their journey from slavery to freedom remains a powerful part of Lagos history. Popo Aguda will never be forgotten.
You've seen it all and you've heard it all. Popo Aguda, the home of the Brazilian potters. Its rich history, story, and the people. We have finally come to the end. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Put on your post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our juicy updates. I remain your humble host, Gabriela Okeni. I will see you on the next one. Bye!